final third.
I think Pepe's so coachable.
Why? You should be
You just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We bailed you out. We bailed you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You facing charges.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the final third. Finally, I'm hosting again. They let me host, but yes, it's your host.
He begged him.
Nah,
We gave it to him. We gave it to him.
They didn't give me nothing.
We put the keys.
They gave me.
We put the keys. We put the keys in your hands.
Let me do the intro. We've got the lovely CJ joining us again. Finally, good to have you back. Steady Eddie. We've got Banks down there himself. And yes, second episode, Champions League special. And boy, do we have some games for you. But let us start the talking point this game week, or this knockout week, first leg. Atletico Chelsea. Luckily, none of us are Chelsea fans, but the first question is, were Chelsea that good or were Atletico that bad? Banks, you go first.
Atletico was shocking. We can agree with that. That we know what we're gonna get with Simeone, and we know that usually there should be, like, especially at home, there should be a counter punch to their defensive tactics. Like you went five at the back essentially, and there was just Suarez and Felix were isolated, like by themselves. A few moments where you thought maybe they could get in or maybe they could create something, but it was just, even for a Simeone performance at home, like it just gave all the impetus to Chelsea, saying, "You come attack us if you can." Breaking down the Simeone side is no easy feat anyway. Like you saw for most of the matches, they got in front of everything. Chelsea didn't create loads, so it's one of those games where if Atletico step on the front foot a little bit, they possibly rattle Chelsea, but they didn't try at all to step on the front foot. Like even the counter attacking, it just wasn't there. Players like Saul, Correa, they were all right. Koke again, all right. But it just wasn't enough to, when you're at home, to give away that. You saw in the this round last year against Liverpool, they had a threat against Liverpool. Like they played, they were defensive, but they gave something at the other end, and they managed to take advantage of their home advantage.
Yeah.
This time they've left themselves all to do. They've left themselves all to do.
That's a CJ Banks movement that's focused on how bad Atletico was, but you focus on how good Chelsea were, if they were good at that, and how did they get this result, CJ?
I think Chelsea are good. I think I have to give them credit. At the end of the day, Atletico, it's never a good place to visit, but you know, they matched Atletico with the three at the back. They overwhelmed them. They had more possession. I don't think Atletico had a shot on target until closer to 80-minute mark. So defensively, they were sound as well. And, you know, at the end of the day, if the opposition isn't getting any of the ball, they're not going to create chances. And obviously, Chelsea limited them in that way. So you have to give them credit. They weren't outstanding or anything, but they just had the possession of the ball. And in the end, they were the team that made the chance that, you know, caused the goal in the game. So you have to give them credit for that.
So do we expect Chelsea to go through, Banks? One, because they already they've got the away goal. They've got the away goal.
They've got the away goal, but as they showed against Liverpool, they can be, if Simeone decides to take off the leash a little bit, they can do both sides of it. They're still gonna, it's in their nature. When you play under Simeone, they're gonna be dogged defensively. They're not gonna be ragged, go and chase the game, leave a lot of space at the back for Chelsea to counter. But at the same time, in the away leg, I'm not writing off Simeone and Atletico. I won't lie. I feel like this performance from them doesn't show them at their best and what the threat that they can bring.
At all.
Even the way they play, I can't write off Atletico yet, but Chelsea have definitely put themselves in the driving seat, and they should be favourites to go through. They should be favourites because to get a big result away at Atletico is no easy feat. So they should definitely the work they've done in the first leg definitely makes them the favourites to go through.
Tim, TJ, what do you think?
I can't write off Atletico for the same reasons. At the end of the day, Simeone, he's proven over the years that, he can get it done. But the onus is on them. And I think when the onus is on Atletico, that's not their game plan. It's not their game plan to be on the offensive. What Simeone would have preferred last night was a 0-0, so that he can go to Stamford Bridge, defend, and then score from the set piece.
I feel like if Simeone got a 0-0, I feel like Simeone would have been like, that was a fantastic result for us. And this leads on to my next question, and how we laud Simeone and we praise him about how, like, he's like very astute and very compact and rigid and hard to beat, But I don't feel like Chelsea were amazing last night, but they did enough to beat them. And it was because of how bad Atletico was. Fair enough, we have to give Tuchel his credit because he still beat an Atletico away. But my next question will be like, do Atletico have a ceiling with Simeone as their manager and this style of play, CJ? Because, like you said, he would have preferred a nil. He would have been happy with a 0-0. But as in Yao Felix and some of these players who are in their primes or at good ages, like, well, what do you want from?
For me, I put Simeone under the lights after he lost to Leipzig. I feel like,
Juventus, not the Juventus match.
No, not the Juventus, because Ronaldo was still peak.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Atletico were 2 or 3-0 up against in that Juventus tie.
They were 2-0 up.
So why is that? So why are you using the Leipzig?
Because of Ronaldo.
It's just Ronaldo. Sometimes Champions League heritage play, like it comes through. He
scored a hat-trick, bro. He done his work. So I'm saying Leipzig is, at the end of the day, you don't lose to a Leipzig team that they just lost to Werner, their best player. Ultimately, for me, when it comes to Simeone, you've tried something so many times and it's never giving you a result. You can't keep trying something and failing. Okay, they've had great campaigns when they've gone to semi-finals and finals. They've lost 2 times in the final, but at the end of the day, you've never got over the line. And I just feel like, if you get to a point where you see that your approach has failed over a 9-year period, you haven't managed to get it done. You need to wake up and smell the coffee. You need to realize I've had teams more talented offensively. I've had Griezmann and Diego Costa and better offensive teams than the Atletico team I have now. And I'm still in the same position where I'm trying to ride my luck of defending all the way through. It's not worked. So for me, he's under the lights. I don't see it happening for Atletico. I think the time that they had to win it was 2016, and they didn't do it.
Okay.
And funny enough, they were the better team against Real Madrid in that final, but they still couldn't get it done. I just don't see it ever happening for them.
Thanks. What do you think?
Do they have a ceiling? No.
What's the saying? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah,
but he's got. You saw him win the La Liga playing this style of football.
Oh, that was 2014.
You've seen him get to Champions League finals. You've seen him get to semi-finals. It's not as if this style of football and what they've done has been completely unsuccessful.
You don't.
At the end of the day, Atletico Madrid have run in more time when they've been knocked out. They've run into the greatest Champions League side of all time, apart from Juventus the last couple of years, yes, but Juventus more time over this. Apart from that, they've run into Real Madrid and Ronaldo in their pomp, and they've been knocked out that way. If it wasn't for them, maybe they go through, and that you just have to hold your hands up.
These are worse teams than those teams, though. This is a worse team.
And those are worse.
So surely,
and what they've had right now, what they face Leipzig and Juventus with, are worse teams than they've had in the past. So as you said, right? The last couple of years, it hasn't went well for them, and a lot of different managers will be looking to change. But this is a Simeone team that's been made in his image. Like it's been molded in the same way he molded his football career. And to say it's not gonna, like, I understand why you think it's not gonna work, but for me, he has to, like, I wouldn't want to see him try and start putting the ball down and play. We saw that already. We've seen him try to do that already a couple of years back after he won the La Liga. A couple of years after that, he tried to get the ball down and start to play a bit more, and it didn't look good. He can't, like, for me, he can't coach that way.
But the season after, then he got to the final again. But what I was
because he reverted to basics. He reverted back to plan, back to what he knows.
I'll give you this, just to round this segment up. For me, Simeone, why I'm putting him under the lights, and I put him under the lights after the Juventus game. I know it's the Ronaldo prime, yeah, but you are known for having a peak defense. Yeah, that's your strength. You don't concede. You don't go out like that for after the Juve game. But more so on Simeone. Yeah, my thing with him is, and what CJ mentioned earlier is, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yeah, because when you're stuck in the mud in that you're just defending and defending and defending, I need to see you offensively be able to. You're not a small team. You're not a small manager. If you go elsewhere, where are you going to be able?
But that's the mentality. That's the mentality, though. It's not about whether if you sign for Simeone, you know what you're signing up for. You know what you're signing, how you're signing up to play. It's not about whether you're small.
If Simeone comes to the Prem, yeah, where do you think he'll flourish? What club and why? Just CJ, you go first.
I think he can flourish anywhere. I honestly do.
100%.
I think he can flourish anywhere. It's just about whether the players buy into it.
That's it.
But that's the main question, because I don't believe man are gonna buy into that, because you have to work to right. You're basically, because Simeone is more or less run till it hurts and defend for me till it hurts.
Well, you look at the teams and the managers in the Premier League, like, Arsenal are buying into Arteta. He's not exactly the most offensive coach.
No. But Arteta's
end of the day, you have to
Mourinho
understand that Simeone is a coach in the world game that demands respect. Like, if he comes to the Premier League, and he shows them his methods, I promise you, a lot of these players would work for him. A lot of these, it's not like Mourinho where
he's like Mourinho though before.
He's got to give Mourinho more credit, because post 2016, Mourinho still had that same respect where he would go to a club and
it's old Mourinho. It's more or less old Mourinho.
Yeah, it's just that Mourinho's washed up now, and those methods are not working in the same way they used to. But I think it's the same thing. Simeone can go anywhere in the Premier League and
I understand what Banks is saying, but I feel like that method and that style of play just keeps depreciating in stock, and less players want to play like that. That's why I don't think it will flourish.
Definitely, I agree with you in terms of it's not the easiest style to buy into, but if you come in with the right, like if you come in with a plan and say, I want to win this within this many years, if you work for me like this, I think I can get you this. If players that want to win trophies would probably buy into it.
Fair enough.
Some might, and that's just the way it is. Some, obviously, not a lot of players would want to play like that, but players will buy into it. Like, as a top class manager, like, you're not gonna whiff under the chance to play under a top class manager.
All right, cool. Like Liverpool, City 2-0 away. Is it done? Is the job done for Pep over there, CJ?
Right, man.
It's done.
It always gives. Go CJ. Go CJ.
I think what Grant is about to say is that they always give us a nice little feel in the last 16, comfortable, maybe 5-0, 6-0 on aggregate kind of result. Then they go to the quarterfinals and then they just show their ass. I think that's what Grant was going to say. Yeah, it's done. I think, at the end of the day, City, Borussia Mönchengladbach didn't show anything in that game. City comfortable, went through the gears. I don't see them squandering a 2-0 lead at this point, and they're just riding high at the moment, innit? So you have to give them credit where credit's due. I think it's done.
Banks, why couldn't Gladbach do anything if you watch the game thoroughly, and do you think it's done as well?
Yeah, City were just in control. Sometimes you see the way they played, and even when they got the ball, they didn't have any ideas on how to progress it forward, how to break City down. You had the likes of Cancelo, Gundogan, all of these are just like they're in that stage. They're in the stage where everything's so automatic, everything's so automated. It's just ticking like that. So even when Gladbach got the ball and they had chances to counter, they were either scared. I remember a couple of opportunities in the first and second half where they could have played. If they played the right ball in, maybe they get through, but they see a defender coming, they get kind of scared, or they go back to the keeper when they have a chance to go forward. City were just in control the whole game.
There's 4 opportunities where the final pass was just missing. But what I want to touch on, how daunting is it to play this City right now? And no, not daunting, taxing. I feel like it's just taxing on your mind, taxing on your body, and just mental. It's just a lot, because fair enough, if you're out of shape defensively, and if you're lax defensively, you're gonna get punished. And it's when you get the ball, you just quiver. You literally just quiver. You don't want to lose it high. They press you high. You don't want to lose it close to your goal. And then when you're breaking on them, you're kind of exhausted. So you're finding
that's the thing as well.
Pep's clocked it still.
When you're facing the team,
Pep's clocked.
when you're facing a team when you're facing a team that's just in the motion, like they're just doing everything right, they're doing it like, and you put like your team and your teammates are maybe not in that same zone. It's taxing because you're thinking about your own game while these are everything's coming quickly. So yeah, I agree. Right now it's like it's not a great time to face City because they could have probably got more goals, but they just locked it up. They just locked up and they said, "All right, we'll take the 2-0."
Yeah. CJ, who's the best fullback in Europe?
You want me to say Cancelo?
I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to be or if you need time to think, I'll go to Banks.
The best fullback in football right now is Cancelo. I don't think you can deny it. On form. You know, I always back the Liverpool boys, but the Liverpool boys are not in form. But on form, yeah, Cancelo. He's doing it week in, week out. No. For me, Cancelo is playing left back. He's playing right back. He's popping up in midfield. He's doing it all right now. Offensively, fantastic. Defensively, he's always guarding up his guy. So I have to give him credit. Do you know what I mean? He's sound. It's Cancelo.
Yes. Thanks.
Yeah, man, you can't go against form right now. I have a Hakimi as well in Inter Milan, like a lovely player as well. But the form that Cancelo's in, maybe it's because we watch him every week. But how you clampers both ways, just attacking, you're putting crosses on people's foreheads, going the other way. You're stopping them from getting in last man. Like it's a lot right now.
As great as Hakimi's playing as well, you need to consider that Cancelo's doing this in a form. Like he's going forward and influencing the game offensively, and then defensively he's clamping his man. Whereas Hakimi's playing in a free. It's like it's crazy. Yeah, you gotta give it.
Three at the back tax.
There's a tax on that, man.
I just fair enough. If City have a strong get into the next round and have a strong opponent and they beat them, yeah, fair enough. Then we can proper rate this. I think the job's done. I don't rate this though because this is a Gladbach team.
Yeah, they always get a nice
around
the 16 time. Man.
There's no really real star there, but
they
go through. But the good thing I can say about City, and this is the thing what makes a good manager is when they beat who they're supposed to beat, or when the team to take points from them, you have to do some work. Like City aren't slipping. City aren't giving you a chance to beat them. You have to work for your points. So that's a very, very good sign. The Bayern boy. See, this is why
Musiala.
This is why they want to play for England because he knows man are gonna call him Musaim, Muslama.
He left Nigeria on red as well, you know.
Swear down.
He left Nigeria on red as well, man.
Okay, Musiala. Musiala, sorry.
Musiala, apologies.
But yeah, no, scored for Bayern against Lazio in a 4-1 win. So pick to represent Germany over England. I don't know if England actually believed he was going to pick them. And I don't know if they would have picked him if he picked them as well to go to the Euros. But yeah.
I don't see why not.
Nah, man. We've already discussed.
Not to go to Euros. Not to Euros.
Oh, no, not to go to Euros, yeah.
Yeah, do you think he made the right decision to pick to represent Germany, guys? Let me start with you, Banks.
We've seen at club level, like the exodus of young British talent to go play their professional football at a young age in Germany. And it's worked so well for a lot of young players. You think back to Sancho is the one that really started, and you've got guys like Bellingham and Musiala. Like Oliver Burke obviously didn't work out as great for him, but then you got guys like Ryan Sessegnon as well. But again, the exodus going from England to Germany has just been so good.
The England-Germany pipeline looking beautiful though.
Looking beautiful for them, I can't lie. But in terms of Musiala picking Germany, why not? Because England's stacked right now. Like in terms of the position he plays, England are stacked. And you look at Germany right now, he's competing with guys like Havertz and Reus is like 32. Like there's space. There's space for him to go and assert himself in Germany. Like you're 17 and you're starting Champions League knockout round. You're trusted over there. You're like your name is known over there. Like he's gonna. I don't know whether he'd get into the Germany squad for Euro 2020 or 2021.
Here's why. Just before we go to CJ, here's why I feel like who can get into the squad. In Germany, everything's very like nationalist in terms of like Bundesliga. Once you play for Bayern Munich, it's like you play for the national team. Like the best chance you have of playing for the German national team is playing for Bayern Munich. So it's like it's set. If you're starting knockout Champions League games, I'm sure you're probably going to go to the national team, because just like we say, the Bayern Munich to national team pipeline is just as equally as strong as we said the English to Bundesliga. But
Bayern been sweeping up the best German talent. That's just
your best.
You perform well at Germany for World Cup and you play for Schalke or something, you should get. That's why Ozil was a mad thing, because
he broke the mold.
Bayern were thinking, yeah, after 2010, he's coming to the Allianz.
Nah.
He's coming to the Allianz. He said,
Rarely people don't really turn down Bayern Munich if they want you, and people don't leave Bayern unless Bayern want you to leave. The Toni Kroos one was a bit weird.
That's how you end up with guys. That's why it's like.
Yeah, but his was a swap. Go on, CJ. What was you gonna say about him picking Germany?
Obviously, like what you said about Bayern, it was kind of automatic, and I feel like obviously Hansi Flick is going to give him his game time in that team. He's someone that trusts the young players, so I trust that he'll bring it through. What I would say as well is that I know England are really talented right now, but you're always going to trust Germany to challenge for the major trophies more than England. So if we have a chance,
it's a new generation, guys. This new crop that's coming. You are really trusting Germany that got knocked out in the group stages of the last World Cup.
Yeah. You can't ignore the history. You can't ignore the history. You can't,
because there's always a new generation for England. There's always from the beginning of time.
I can't lie.
This one's different.
Generation,
this one's different. Let's not lie. Banks is right. This one's different, and I feel like this one's the best squad.
Well, look who's coaching them.
That's where we can get into. That's where we can get. That's where we can see what's holding them up.
The stability the Germans have is unmatched.
Yeah. Like I would trust to win more at Germany, but that's just my opinion, isn't it?
All right, quickly, guys. Last game, Atalanta Real Madrid finished 1-0. Real Madrid not last minute goal, but late goal by Mendy. Real Madrid, okay, I'm never going to ask, are they favourites for the second leg? Are they favourites, or do you think they can get into the finals or semi-finals this season?
No chance.
Good. I told you lot thought I was lying when I said that they're not good anymore. They're not good, even though they've had a raft of injuries recently, like Benzema, Ramos, all of these man, were not available. Still, like you look at the squad, you look at the people.
Real Madrid weren't good when they won one of the Champions Leagues, the last one. They really weren't good. They were about to crash out the tournament. Then they turned it around in the second leg of the last 16, and one of them.
Up until 2018, they were still a superpower. Up until 2018, they were still a scary team to go up against in the Champions League.
CJ.
Since Ronaldo's
I don't agree.
Yeah.
I actually don't agree. I think Real Madrid have been done since
for time.
The 4-1 against Juve. What final was that? 2017.
Yeah.
The season after, I don't think
it was shaky because we've been questioning it. We've been questioning their age.
I remember very specifically in that 2017-18 season when they won the Champions League against Liverpool. Mm-hmm. They had the Juve game, but they were 2-0, 3-0 up.
That's why I picked it as one of the best runs. Because every game they could have lost.
And then they got the bummy penalty in the last minute. It's not the same Real Madrid team, man.
It's not.
They haven't been for a while.
It's not the same. But again, they still had the names in their pomp. You had the likes of Bell. Obviously, Bell was coming off the bench them times. That's what I'm saying. But it was like back then, they still had names. They
had a little bit
fear factor. But now you're looking at guys like Isco, Asensio. There's no fear factor there with them.
Poor Asensio, though, those injuries have really
it's hampered him.
Stopped his development.
Same playing well a couple of Clásicos ago. If Zidane wins with this Real Madrid, where are we putting him, Jim?
First of all, we're putting Benzema as the greatest European striker in Europe.
I think he said.
No,
you can do the Benzema hype train in a second.
By the end, you could do that at the outro.
Okay, I know you're excited. I know.
I was excited to think about it. Sorry, my bad. Go through.
I'm not a Zidane fan. I'm not.
If Zidane
I feel like Zidane's one of the. I feel like he's someone that has managed to get off of the greatness of Ronaldo. So if he was to win it with this squad, man. I don't. What can you even say, man? He's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's
already in the Hall of Fame. To be fair, he's already in the Hall.
We know he's in the Hall of Fame, but there's a slight on his
Hall of Fame is Hall of. Hall of Fame, repeat.
There's a tier 1.
Put your free peats on the table. Put your free peats on the table.
Bag.
Put your free peats on the table. Put your free peats on the table.
There's a dent in his record because of the squad he inherited and Ancelotti's work. Let's say that because we say the same thing for Pep. We say the same thing for Pep. We say the same thing for Pep.
Is he the first manager to have a good squad?
No. But he's the first to three-peat. That's why he's there.
But we always say that's one of the greatest squads ever assembled.
Definitely, but there's been Galacticos before and they couldn't win. There's been Galacticos before and they couldn't win. Huh?
That wasn't the greatest squad. Peak squad.
The Galacticos.
Peak squad.
Again, you look at the quality. You look at the quality in the Galacticos. They've had quality before and they didn't win. Zidane should get his props. I agree in terms of it was very stacked and they should have been favourites a lot of the years. But not everyone goes through and actually lift the silverware, lift the big years.
That's why he would be there. There's an indictment on his record because of the stars, the quality he possessed. He had prime Ronaldo. Secondly, Banks, you didn't answer the question before we round up. Where would you rank him? If he wins with this Real Madrid squad, if Pep wins with this Real Madrid squad,
if Zidane wins with this Real Madrid squad,
Zidane, sorry.
If Zidane wins with this Real Madrid squad, he's up there. He's up there somewhere. He's sitting in Valhalla with them, man.
Say it.
Oh, you want me to say he's the GOAT?
No, but I'm just asking you, what will he be? Where will he
be? He's somewhere up there. He's not.
Somewhere up there where with Saf?
Huh? Yeah, Saf is going to shake his hand. Saf is going to give him his respect.
Be 2. If he wins with this Real Madrid squad,
Saf is going to give him his respect. He's going to pat him on the shoulder.
He has to be number 2.
He's going to remind him of the quote. Remember when Saf said, "Give me one Zidane and 10 planks of wood, I'll bring you Champions League." Going to remind him of that quote. Hey, I always knew you'd be a great manager. That's it. Calm. If he wins with
this Real Madrid squad, Zidane will be number 2, and Pep has to show. He would have cheated his way to number 2. He would have cheated. He wormed his way to number 2 because this squad is dusted. You're seeing Vinicius just.
Imagine he goes France and he picks up a World Cup as well. Nobody will ever be able to talk to him.
That might be the most goated legacy ever.
That's the goated legacy. Zidane will retire. Zidane will retire. And you know Zidane's cocky as hell.
Yeah, Zidane would definitely retire because he's done it before.
Guys, that's been a fantastic. I enjoyed that one. The fantastic Champions League round up for game week. Next, we're doing second legs soon. Boy, next time's going to be the second legs, people. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe at the final third. And yeah, stay tuned. Obviously, I'm definitely going to be hosting the next one because this has been smooth. So yeah. I'll speak to everyone later. It's been your boy Lavish, CJ and Banks. Peace.
You are now listening to The Final Third.
I think Pepe's so coachable. You just need to shake him.
You should be in prison. We build you out. We build you out to come and play this season. You're out here disgracing us. You should be in prison. You're facing charges.